Hello guys, welcome to Top Anime Sensei. This video is the continuation video after Blockhead Luminous. So if you have not watched it, then please watch it. The link is in the description. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. No, perhaps there is still time. I can't show weakness at this point. Compared to that, right now I should. What did Granbell want with the Holy Ark? She needed to confirm this first and foremost. Luminous hadn't shared any information about the Holy Ark with Granbell. It was confidential information. Even Gunther and Louis only possessed a surface-level understanding of it and the young girl sealed inside. Granbell was willing to sacrifice all of his aces. Just from that knowledge alone, anyone could see that his resolve was more than just strong. Luminous could clearly tell that something was off. As long as I can achieve my true goal, nothing else matters. Luminous could feel this hateful sentiment from him. Very well, I shall confirm your true intentions first, Luminous muttered and turned her gaze towards the cathedral. It seemed like Leon had caught on to the meaning behind my words. He was simply playing along and crossed swords with me. To the eyes of bystanders, this certainly appeared to be an actual battle. If I were too careless, I could actually be killed by the slashes. On that note, did he really understand me? The look he gave told me that he probably knew Granbell was behind everything. We just had to wait for the right moment. And before that happened, we just needed to pretend to duel. At least that was how I envisioned it. Yet, Leon's swordsmanship refused to give me any room to breathe. His speed was extremely fast, while Hinata's rate of attack was swift. Leon was no slower. He had a very beautiful stance, typical of practicing orthodox swordsmanship. I, on the other hand, had incorporated some personal tastes to my swordsmanship after learning from Hakiru. Since using a sword was not my only means of combat, I couldn't help but add my own flair. Moreover, with Raphael San's monitoring, it wouldn't be too unconventional. In any case, that didn't really matter. I was just complimenting how clean Leon's attacks were. It truly made me question whether he was actually planning to kill me with his attacks or not. In addition, Leon's face was essentially an emotionless mask. That meant I couldn't tell if he had killing intent by looking at him, which began to really concern me that my message hadn't gotten across. Report. No problem. According to analysis of predict future attack, he is striking in coordination with you. What a relief. I'll let this continue while Raphael Sensei takes over with automatic battle mode. Putting that aside, there was something else that was unsettling. I had been getting feedback about small earthquakes. At first, I suspected it was plate displacement, but it was quite intense. My guess was that it was Luminous's doing, who was currently absent. There were problems everywhere. This unrest was no longer just a minor incident. It was already far beyond just the simple involvement of other nations. Had I not been the person at the center of all this, a complaint would have definitely been filed to escalate the whole thing into an international affair. Although, Luminous probably wouldn't let a complaint affect her anyway. Putting that aside, Diablo had yet to return. Shion and Ranga were struggling against an insect-type monster called Razul. While Hinata and Granbell appeared to be on par with each other, I felt that Granbell still had more strength to spare. It was obvious to me that if the battle were to continue any further, the odds would soon turn against Hinata. The various battles, as a whole, were not ideal. It was almost impossible for me to judge which one I should handle first. As I was analyzing the battleground, I detected an intense mana explosion underground. It was from Luminous. The stone tiling of the grand cathedral floor was blown away, breaking open a circular hole with a diameter of 2 meters. A pillar of light shot from it and instantly evaporated the ceiling as it dissipated in the sky. The power of it was insane, but such an attack was probably a piece of cake for Luminous. Granbell, it looks like you are seriously trying to be my enemy. Luminous emerged from the hole in the ground while holding a beautiful woman, and as soon as she came out, she interrogated Granbell. Her killing intent was palpable. Looks like the situation is changing. Leon seemed to bear the same thought as he turned his attention to Luminous. Fukuku, as expected from Luminous Sama, even my familiar was not able to stop you. I had to infuse it with the power of many otherworlders, and it was my greatest masterpiece. Foolish man, no matter how much power you infuse into that knockoff, a mindless golem can never compete with the real thing. You should know something like that best yourself. Of course I know. Granbell was still very calm in front of an agitated Luminous. Hinata's strikes against him had become even faster, yet Granbell parried them easily. I knew from experience that Hinata had some way of stealing skills from her opponents, but it seemed that she was unable to invoke it this time. Speaking of which, arts and skills were different things. You wouldn't be able to use an art immediately. Even if you stole it, you could only master them through years and years of training and accumulation of experience. The reason why Granbell was so strong was probably due to exactly that, years of training and research. His center of gravity did not shift an inch, maintaining his balance like a steady mountain. Leon and I whispered to each other, "Impressive, looks like he wasn't bluffing when he said that he was an ex-hero." This was a little bit unexpected. We were ignored as Luminous and Granbell continued to speak. "What in the world are you planning to have done this?" Luminous said while gently laying the woman in her arms down. She looked like she had fallen asleep. No, she was already dead. As the name suggested, she had merely been turned into a familiar through the manipulation of her corpse. Since she did not have a soul, no matter how much energy was inserted into her, it was meaningless. I knew this point very well. Maria has already passed away, and yet you chose to desecrate her like this. Luminous apparently knew this woman. Was her name Maria? She looked quite similar to Mariabelle. Could she be? Because it is necessary. Everything I have done was for this exact moment. Facing a confused Luminous, Granbell took off the glove on his left hand, revealing an engraving on it. It began to glow, and responding to it was the body of Maria, which also started to shimmer along. "What are you doing?" Luminous questioned loudly, but this unfolding event was undoubtedly on everyone's mind. Leon and I stopped to observe. At this point, keeping up this facade with each other would just look ridiculous. I almost couldn't remember why we were fake fighting in the first place. An unbelievable phenomenon was occurring right in front of us. Maria's body turned into a beam of light and was absorbed into the engraving on Granbell's hand. Soon after, Granbell's body quickly began filling up with power. It was not only his magical content, his physical body also seemed to enhance. Granbell's cells were now rejuvenated, his white hair transformed into a shiny golden color, and his withered skin regained their elasticity. The hero of the past had returned, a young Granbell Rosso. His eyes were sharp. "I understand now. You even put my love energy into Maria's body," Luminous shouted while Granbell nodded in confirmation. I recalled that love energy was the power to help maintain one's youth. Was that power originally granted to Granbell now fully restored in him? Whatever the case may be, the end result was the Granbell in front of us. Luminous-sama, no. Luminous, our duel has yet to be settled. I remembered that I can't die before this is all over. Now that Mariabelle is dead, my ambition has changed, but I still intend to complete one final wish. You scum. Don't you underestimate me now. Two people responded to Granbell, and they were Luminous and Hinata, respectively. Granbell, now revitalized, turned his head towards Hinata. "Ah yes, Hinata, there are still things that I've yet to teach you. You are the most talented among all the students I've taught. You have always been ambitious and worked hard to hone your skill. Outstanding is not high enough of a praise for you." However, Granbell casually swung his hand, releasing an unbelievable attack. Melt slash. No way. Can you really manipulate Spiritrons like that without chanting? Hinata sure was impressive to have dodged that unscathed, but her accomplishment paled in comparison to how Granbell was able to unleash the ultimate holy sword art with ease. It was a feat simply beyond imagination. He had become an unthinkable monster. Hinata, in the past, I was very confused about why you couldn't become a hero. One cannot dream of becoming a hero through talent and hard work alone. Without the endorsement of spirits, it is impossible to obtain the credential. That said, however, you are endorsed by spirits. And yet, how unfortunate then. So what if I was endorsed by the spirits? I simply can't become what is impossible. Had you awoken as a hero, it would have surely helped with my ambition. Allow me to give you a word of advice. Is there darkness in your heart already? You killed someone close to you, haven't you? Your parent, sibling, or perhaps a friend. Shut up. Hinata had previously kept her distance in order to dodge the melt slash, but now she charged forward to close in on Granbell. Her eyes were brimming with rage. Granbell's words probably hit a nerve. The clashing of swords resounded. Granbell remained still. Instead, it was Hinata who was sent flying away. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched my other videos, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.